One time a valet boy hit on me, like, after he valeted my car. And I was like, oh, no, sorry, I have a boyfriend. And he was like, no, you don't have a boyfriend. And I was like, yes, I do have a friend. And he was like, you have low tire pressure. There's no way you have a boyfriend.
Okay, I used to think I just wanted a man who thought I was, like, really pretty. Because, duh, I'm a girl. I'm a woman. Everybody wants... Never mind, you know what I mean. But now more and more I'm realizing I need a man who thinks that I'm funny. Like, there's the high when somebody says to you, oh my God, you're so funny. And, like, I love to laugh. So I love other people who are funny. And I love to make people laugh. And it's probably like, you're so funny and you're so pretty. Same.
Okay, I've been on the men's side a little too much lately. Men, why do y'all feel like y'all don't have to court a woman? What is going on nowadays that I don't know if you guys weren't raised right by your parents. I don't know if it's generational changes, but you feel like you don't have to open a door for a woman. You feel like you don't have to bring a gift on a first date for a woman, flowers, something, a gesture. And then you wonder why women don't want to be with y'all. You wonder why women play with y'all. You wonder why women are playing games just like the men and running circles around these men. Why do you think that is? Because you're not doing what grandpa did to grandma. Listen, y'all are not chasing the woman a little. I'm not saying go crazy and do this and do that, but can y'all give a little?
The problem isn't marriage, it's that modern women stopped being feminine and submitting to their husbands. It's selfish to get really overweight and let yourself go. You cannot build a godly home with feminist blueprints. There is very rarely an excuse for you not to be put together when your husband comes home. Modern marriages fail because the women want the ring without the reverence. Your children should never, ever, ever come before your marriage. Your husband doesn't deserve to come home to a chaotic house. You cannot lead your husband and be a follower of Christ at the same time. There is very rarely a good excuse to not make yourself available for your husband. God did not call you to compete with your husband. He called you to complete your husband.
I'll never understand a man that acts like a female. Bro, like, should I just start dating girls? Like, is that what the universe is trying to tell me? Please, someone tell me what to do.
I don't know. If that's what you want to do, then do that. But I don't know. Stop trying to pick on another group.
What's up, y'all? Got another one. Gentlemen, this is for my gentlemen, for the fellas today looking for a wife. This right here is what you're up against in the dating market. And then even after you get married, this is what you need to protect yourself against. You, in addition to asking all the tangible questions, the things that are easily measurable, her credit, background check, criminal record, and her physical health, logging into her My Chart, you also need to be having serious questions, serious dialogue about her background. Specifically, was she raised with a father in the home? Does she have a good example of what marriage looks like? Because the society that we live in today, it's this whole fairy tale model of what marriage is. Most people don't have an example of, look at them. If I were to be married, I want my marriage to look like that. They don't have that. So now you get married and she thinks that marriage is a fairy tale. We're going to be in love. We're going to be like the housewives of whatever on TV. That is not what marriage is. So after you do the basics of checking all the things that I mentioned before, you need to really talk with the men of her family and understand where her mindset is regarding marriage. Navigate to the altar, y'all.
And remember, ladies, if there's no ring on that finger, then we what?
We single!
Yeah. Mark? Yo, Mark, what the f you doing over here? Mark, what? What's up, Theyre? I'm just taking this little shorty over here on a date. A light date.
Wow.
We just met. It's nothing too crazy, it's... Mark! Me and you are in a relationship. Like, what the f you talking about right now? Yeah, but I ain't never put no ring on you. Like, you can't expect me to be serious if I ain't never put... What? Just because you haven't proposed doesn't give you the right to just step out of our relationship.
Oh.
Yeah! I didn't think you was gonna Uno reverse me like that.
You see how that sounds? This doesn't feel
great.
good. Why did you never say nothing?
Because then you'll be like, who hurts? You see?
Damn.
Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
like,
that's great.
Something a man said one time that really made me throw up. I was in the club. He gonna text me and say, mind you, I was like, are you really done? Like, are you really messing with other people? He said, in what world do you think I haven't put another big mattress? I showed it to my homegirl. She said, oh, no, he didn't. I said, oh, my stomach hurts. In the club, tore up, heartbroken. Oh my gosh. In what world, you goofy? You know I've been... Oh, excuse me.
Women and men, I need y'all's opinion on this because I'm very bothered, okay? So from the very first day I met my man, he was using the same man to pressure wash his house and his 18-wheelers. And eventually that man started pressure washing my house and my cars. And you've had multiple conversations with this said man. And it was never a problem. They were all in front of your man. But then you run into this man at Home Depot. He sees me. I see him. He doesn't speak to me. He actually avoids me. But then a few days later, he calls your man to check in with your man to say, hey, when you gonna come get your house pressure washed and your car's pressure washed? And you and your man are on three-way and y'all are talking. He speaks to you like normal. You then see him again and he's with his old lady and he avoids you. You make him speak to you. You're like, hey. And then I say to him, I seen you the other day at Home Depot. My man will be home this week and he wants to get the house pressure washed, the houses pressure washed, and the cars, all of them pressure washed. And he's very short and stiff with you and says, tell him to get with me. Now, my first mind is thinking, okay, well, maybe, his woman is crazy. He can't speak to me. But any other time you're talking to me, like, we've had multiple conversations. But then I remember, like, the other day he did avoid me. Like, so now I'm thinking, like, what? Just thinking that you're respecting my man by not speaking to me. But then in return, you're making me feel some type of way because any other time you speak to me, it's as simple as, hey, bye. We don't have to hold no conversation, but just not speaking to me really bothers me because me and my man spend thousands of dollars with you. Like, just speak. Just say, hey. Like, I'm not going to try to talk to you. I don't want to hold a conversation with you, but I just feel like the polite thing to do is to speak. Because now I'm like, we're spending all this money with you and you can't even speak to me? Like, I want to take my business elsewhere.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but if a guy ever tells you he just wants to be friends or says, I think we should just be friends or I think you're a great friend, don't take it. You need to tell him to his face that he is an asshole. You need to tell him right then and there, no, we're not going to be friends. You're literally dumping me and this is your little cop-out, loser, coward boy way of doing it because you can't sit here and tell me that, oh, I was just trying to use you or I did just use you and I wanted a free hooker and now that you're expecting me to actually invest something, I'm going to run away like a dog with my tail in between my legs because there's no such thing as just bouncing back and forth from romantic interest to friends. I can't even make female friends. How am I going to be friends with a guy who I have feelings for or who we already crossed the friend line? All right. It's hard enough being a woman and make girlfriends. You think I'm going to be friends with you? How is that going to happen? Are you going to call me? Are you going to check in on me? Am I going to call you and tell you about my dates and all these guys that are hitting me up and help me screen them? Am I going to come to you with all the tea on my girls? Are we going to exchange trauma stories from when we were children? Are we gonna go shopping together? You're gonna help me pick out my outfit for a date night for the guy that's gonna replace you? Are you gonna wipe my tears because I'm crying over you? No, you don't even know what a friend is, okay? So there's no such thing as friends. Guy says he wants to be friends. You say, nope, we're not gonna be friends. Delete, unfollow. You had your chance. You know when you know a guy is your friend? When you're actually dating him and sleeping together and he's committed to you. That's how you know you're friends. Bye.
Ma'am, are you okay? And they continue to tell us that women know how to take rejection gracefully. Please, stop.
I feel like I'm one of the best players in the world. I'm one of the best players in the world.
A few moments later.
Chat, she averages 17 a game, bro.
Also, ladies, if you are dating someone in their 40s and they tell you that they are semi-retired, please fact check. I was seeing someone for 3 months. Thank God that's all. 3 months. Who told me he was so bored and missed talking to people, so he's gonna go volunteer at the local Lowe's. I'm like, you are just so sweet. Like, that is so sweet. Until the next day at 8 a.m. when he's like, oh yeah, I gotta go to Lowe's. I'm like, damn, okay. He's really missing talking to people. And then the next day he's like, oh, I have an 8 to 4. An 8 to 4 volunteering? So then his car breaks down and he's like talking about calling in to your volunteer shift. Y'all, I got, and now when I say it out loud, I'm like, it's my fault. Like, I thought this man was volunteering at Lowe's.
Marriage is so scary. I just watched a video of this man. He was married to this woman and they had 6 kids together. And he was the sole provider, so he took care of everything. So of course the man had a lot of stress on him. So his birthday was coming up. His wife asked him what would he like for his birthday.
And I said, I just want a video from you guys just saying why you love me. That's it. I don't like things. I don't like stuff. I mean, sometimes it's nice to get tools and like that, but I just wanted love for a second.
And she did. And I thought that was pretty cool. The whole family could be involved in it. It was easy to do, simple, to the point. It was a great video. I mean, the message was very moving. She was telling him how he's a great husband, how she couldn't do it without him, how the kids loved him. She just was saying all of these loving, wonderful things about him. And then 6 months later, she left him. She took the kids and she left. Now, of course, doesn't know what's going on. She then took him to court, started doing what a lot of women do when it comes to divorce. Now, all of a sudden, he's an abuser, a narcissist, all of these things that women like to say when they're ready to leave a relationship. I'm not saying it isn't true. I'm just saying it's very strange that every time there's a divorce, these same words pop up. So now this man is in court fighting with this woman. He can't see his kids, doesn't know what's going to happen, and his whole life is flipped upside down because she, in that moment, felt it was time to leave. When you put everything into something and you're really trying to build something nice and you then realize that this emotionally unstable creature at any moment could pull something like this, it is very scary. Now, I do not know what really happened in their relationship. There's always 3 sides, his side, her side, and the truth. The man said she didn't have to bring any witnesses in court. It's just her words and her tears is what the judge is going off. So this man is pretty much screwed out of his family. And I know a lot of women will sit there and think, well, he must have done something. That is not always the case. There are women out there who just wake up and don't want to do it anymore. And that's what makes marriage so scary. That right there.
Y'all, it is so rough out here. I got a text leaving my workout class yesterday from the guy that I've been talking to. Basically, it was a novel telling me that we are not going to work out because I'm not athletic enough for him and I'm not passionate enough about fitness to be with him, which is fine. I mean, I work out every day. I play volleyball, I golf, I ski, I run, I do it all. So I'm confused what more I could possibly do to look more athletic for him. I'm sorry, I don't have like a raging 6-pack. Like, do you want to do it or do you want to check? I don't know. But anyways, that was very humbling. So I woke up early to come run Sloan's Lake before my Pilates class so that I can feel better about myself and not be so insecure that some guy just told me I'm not fit enough for him. Yeah, so that is the start to my week. Anyways, yeah, if you want to go follow me on Strava so I can get more followers than him, that's cool too.
Dear men, why does every single last one of you have a problem getting up, going from the couch to the bed to go to sleep? Just get into bed.
One of my favorite influencers is literally living every woman's dream and dream life. And I absolutely adore her content because I feel like it's real and it's actually realistic. She is a stay-at-home wife and her husband is literally a blue-collar worker. He's not a tech bro. He's not a finance guy. He's not an influencer. He's not anything that these soft life content creators love to glamorize when it comes to a man's job. Instead, he is a dependable, hardworking provider man. And she posts about him. She's a stay-at-home wife, fully taken care of, raising their children, living the life that so many women claim to want. And just recently, they just bought a very big and beautiful, gorgeous home in California, I believe, with a freaking pool, and it looks bomb as that kind of life isn't just a dream, it's real and it's happening for so many women. So what is your excuse again? Here's the truth. A lot of women, especially people that come on my page and consume soft life content, they would not even look twice at her husband. Let's be real. So many of you, and be honest, would judge him for his job title because he works blue collar. Okay, he works with his hands. You'd probably judge him for his height. Hell, you'd probably judge him for how he looks. Or whatever it is that you ladies love to be picky about these days. So many women would laugh at the fact that this man is working with his hands or working a trade job. They'd say that he doesn't make enough, that he doesn't look the part of social media. And even though he's a full provider, providing for his wife and his kids, they'd probably see his job and overlook the fact that he's literally building a life that is so glamorous and so amazing. This is the problem right here with so many of you ladies. You guys think that dating is so hard, when in reality provider men are everywhere, and a lot of times they be right in front of your faces. Some of you guys are too superficial, chasing aesthetics, chasing that Instagram worthy relationship, and don't realize that you're totally overlooking the men that actually provide, that actually are dependable and actually show up. You're literally overlooking the real men and so concerned about optics that it's causing your dating life to struggle. You're waiting on a fantasy while women like this are literally running laps around you ladies with the same men that you claim don't exist. And she didn't settle. She secured the man and the lifestyle that a lot of you women want. So while you're rolling your eyes at a man's job title because you think providers come with certain incomes and you think providers have certain job titles, these women are over here put up. These women are over here really living the soft life, building a dream life, a family, and a future. Things that you keep saying you want, but clearly don't respect enough to recognize when it's right in front of you. And this is also why so many women with such high earning jobs tend to miss the mark, because they would look down on somebody that makes less than them, however, is still in the market to provide for them. So the next time you want to judge men based on how they look or their appearance or, you know, their job title, but they're showing up for you and doing all the things that they need to do, remember this story. Because homegirl literally just got the house of her dreams and y'all sitting around waiting for a man to take you on a real date, not a coffee date. Okay, bye.
What do they say in those one of those Avenger movies? I like this one.
If I appear or I'm giving off that I'm materialistic to you, that's because I am. That's a message.
I'm confused. It's like y'all like the that don't like y'all and push away and ignore the that do like y'all and that are trying to show y'all what a soft life could be like. Change your type, babe. It's time.
I am a firm believer that a man's income has very little to do with how much he's willing to provide for you. And before the girlies say we can provide for ourselves, I have a job, okay? That's not what I mean. I've just seen so many men that make an unbelievable, unfathomable amount of money and are still not willing to buy their girlfriends anything or provide for them or pay for things. Not that men have to, but it is nice. And then I've also seen a lot of men that don't make as much money but are willing to do anything to make their partners happy. It really has nothing to do with income. It's how much they're willing to do these things.
You deserve it. And I want to be your lady again. I'm tired of going through everything we're going through. And I don't want to put out no fight no more, baby. I just want to be soft for you. I just want to treat you way better. And I just want to do right by you. And I really love you. I don't care what we've been through. I don't care what you have done in the past. Like, I don't care. I don't hold none of it. I don't hold none of it. I don't want to grow up with you. I just want to love you. That's it. I just want to love you, and I just want to show you. And you so so handsome. Like, I was just looking through our pictures and stuff. Baby, you is so handsome. You is so sexy. You is so fine. I don't want nobody else to have you. You my man for real. You my king for real. And I need to start treating you better.
Well, the demon growl at the end was a real nice touch. Can someone please explain to me how we went from fighting for votes for women to that? The actual hell is wrong with these people?
Want to know how to tell when a man is playing hard to get? They act like a woman. They try to make you chase them. The reason this never works is because this man is actually taking on feminine energy. And
this video in and of itself is incorrect because she goes on to say that men don't like to be chased, real men like to chase, which again is actually not true because real men don't like to chase. Real men like to attract. But you know what the problem is? Men have been chasing. Men have gone after women for so many years, and more women have just proven them to not be worth their time and energy. So a woman nowadays is not like a woman was 50 years ago or 100 years ago. And that's why so many men nowadays don't even bother chasing anymore or attracting. For real. Most women nowadays want a man who is going to pay for them, who's going to do everything for them, who's going to listen to their drama, who's going to put up with everything they're going to put them through, and they don't want to do anything in return. No man wants to deal with that. Most men would rather be single and alone and not have to deal with that and get a dog. It's not because they're in their feminine energy, whatever that even means. It just is because women are not worth it anymore. Most of them.
She's not a gold digger because she doesn't want to do 50-50 with you. Maybe she just wants a real man instead of going to work is going to be an emotional and financial burden and hold her back from reaching her true potential. Allow me to women'splain, if I may. In the United States, a private chef can cost you $75,000. A maid, $35,000. So by that logic, a woman who cooks and cleans provides over $100,000 worth of free services for the household. Meanwhile, you want her to pay half the rent, half of dinner? One day when that woman gives him children, he's going to roll over one day and say, "You've let yourself go. You're not the same person I fell in love with." Maybe if she weren't so busy checking your underwear for skid marks and packing your lunchbox for work, she would have more time to take care of herself. But here she is, taking care of a man-child. Normalize calling men who don't understand a true and equal partnership gold diggers. Save that 50-50 crap for divorce. And remember, ladies, the only time you should ever become a housekeeper for an ungrateful man is when you eventually divorce him and keep his house.
You know, they like to make this argument, and they know, I think they know instinctively it doesn't make a lot of sense. It's Killer21 says, I understand what she's saying, but this argument leaves itself wide open to easy criticism. What do you mean it's Killer? At the very least, a man is going to respond by saying he's the car mechanic, he's the handyman, he's the carpenter, he's the trash man, and he's the tire technician, which is about $210,000 of value a year based on her logic. The argument goes back and forth from there with both sides canceling each other out. Exactly. That's number one. Number two, she's not going to be doing continuous cooking and cleaning every single day and every single night. So you're not even getting $35,000 worth or $75,000 worth out of her if that's what she's arguing.
That's what I thought. Glasses back on.
A lot of women, they come on my show, they describe the same guy. They want him to have money, have swag, be attractive, and all of that. Now, I might have 10 of those guys, then I have 3,000 women. So just from that type of guy, there's just not enough to go with every person. Also, the things everybody's saying they want our grandma's love, like she just said, y'all don't know what grandma went through to keep that love. I would be happy by myself, taking care of myself before I tolerate your BS. So I say all that to say, if you really want to be a wife, character is all that matters. Not money, not height. Is this man going to be there for you on your dying bed? If you couldn't walk tomorrow, would he wipe your behind? Those are the only components, and that's how women will run the game again. Because we put out there, you got to be attractive, because you got to have money. Those men are acting up, and they acting like a damn fool because they know they got so many women that want them. Just date. Like, you know, people are like, Kendra, I need a man, and the Uber driver dropped him off. Well, was the Uber driver nice? Just go for coffee, girlfriend. It's just coffee. Like, You never know, because that Uber driver might be an Uber driver, but maybe saving to make his own fleet, and maybe you're the sauce that can help him market it. A lot of marriages really are partnerships. Like, we just think the man's the head of the house, but maybe it was the woman's idea, he executed. And a lot of women who are powerhouse, I know she said you don't might want to build a man, and I get that, but you might also have no man to build. Either you can have a no man or invisible man or yourself. Like, you got to pick out of it. It's just the real talk.
I am officially 2 weeks away from my 30th birthday, and the one thing that has got to change is my love life is trash. I can't pick 'em worth a damn. I had to sit down with my father the other day, and he asked me, where did I go wrong? I don't even vote. I ain't even gonna lie to you, gang. I don't know. I don't know if you're the problem, I'm the problem, my mom's the problem. Maybe it's generational. Like, I don't know. My grandma really wasn't great at picking them. I don't know. Okay. Both my grandmas. This is a generational curse at this point. Like, I don't know. Y'all pass this down to me or something. Oh my God. Like, I've decided for my 30s, I'm just off men, baby. I can't do it. I can't do it. I'm tired. I am exhausted.
I cannot wait for the day that I find a man that is genuinely romantic. And a lot of people say, including my mom, that men just aren't romantic. And I don't think that's true, because I'm romantic. And I like to do little things, and I like to go all out and make the homemade stuff. And with my ex, I literally bought them flowers. And they were a man, by the way. So if I feel this way, and if I love so much, then I know that there has to be other people who feel the same way. Like, I'm not that unique. That doesn't seem like a unique thought or experience to me. So because of that, I feel excited knowing that that is a possibility for me. And I don't have to settle for something that isn't fulfilling for me in my relationship. So yeah.
Listen, I got a gripe. Men don't have periods. And you know what? It's not that big of a deal. Because you know what? I just did an hour-and-a-half long workout on my first day of my period. A man could never. A man could literally never. I petition that men should start having one period a year just to know what we go through. One period a year, that's nothing. We got 12. We got 12 a year right now, ladies. Men can handle one period a year. And they should have to work out. They should have to at least do one workout on their period while they're cramping. I don't know how to work for them. Don't know how to work. But that's just my personal opinion. I guess this is my hot take of the day. Do with it what you will.
I just want to have somebody to cuddle. That's it. I don't want to feel like you want more than cuddling. And I don't want to feel obligated that you need more than cuddling. I just want, can we just cuddle and watch a show without having to lead anywhere? Is that even possible?
Yeah, my future man's gonna have to find me in my apartment at the front door. Because the way I almost went feral because I saw two attractive men out in the wild just sitting, minding their damn business. And I said, oh my God, I must make eye contact. Like, I have to get out of my car. I'm not on the apps. How else will this happen? Not only did I go find parking nearby, masqueraded like I needed to get this terrible matcha, walked back out, and I don't know if they were still sitting there because I wanted to look mysterious, but aimlessly walked around the area that I was in, went to an olive oil shop, bought olive oil, walked back out, and I purposely looked in the direction that they were sitting. They weren't even there. And then to add worse to wear, as I was leaving my parking spot, I saw a fine man walking his dog. I was like, should I put my car back in park and get out the car and walk? I said, no, Val. No. I try to be strong. I try to be open-minded. I try to tell universe, hey, I'm ready, I'm willing. Send him my way. And it's just not working. And neither is stalking people. So at this rate, I truly give up. I'm giving it to the universe. He knows my apartment. He knows my address. He'll have to find me.
guys like white women because they're easier to get over with. They can get cheated on and no.
I'm not nearly as beautiful as that black girl, but as a fellow black girl, black woman, I just have a request. Can we stop getting involved in this conversation about black men who are with non-black women? If a preference wants to say that she hasn't had it easier with black men, oh, I'm all for talking about that. But in terms of black women just sitting and having discussions about why black guys date white girls, I just cringe at it in the new millennium. Can we just let it go? If they all go to non-black women and white girls, can we just not care anymore? I feel like it just makes us look jealous, petty, and insecure to even try and come up with explanations for why a black guy is with a white girl. And usually it's something demeaning about the white girl.
About to go hang out with the guy who I said was my husband like a week ago. This is me before. I'm excited, but I'm not giddy, so we'll see what happens. But yeah.
Men scare me a little bit because men will be so critically horny that they will allow themselves to completely decimate their entire livelihood, like things that they've been working for decades. They'll destroy their family, their lives, their career for mere minutes of pussy popping. Mere minutes. Empires have fallen, you know? Empires have literally fallen. Wars have started over puss being popped. And this is why when the girls don't understand the power that they hold, that also irritates me. But I'm not even talking about that right now. What I'm talking about is fear. I fear men because they will spend their whole lives working for something. Like, laser focus. They will not call them mamas. They will be horrible fathers. They will be horrible friends. They will be horrible people. And they'll get to that goal by any means necessary, to the point where it's like, I gotta respect it. And then here comes a 19-year-old white teenager. It's like insane work. It's insane work.
You know, it's funny how women say, oh, men can't control themselves and I'm so scared of men because they have this ability to do this. But then you literally have women on this app talking about how they've had babies by men that they knew weren't anything, that were red flags all up and down everywhere, and they just ignore them. As a matter of fact, I'm thinking about Britney Spears and Kevin Federline, her ex-husband, where people back in the day were saying, you know, probably shouldn't be with the guy. I was reading a Reddit post just recently on it. And after 20 years, she's done paying him child support. But anyway, people were in the comments talking about, what did she ever see in him? Why would she ever get married, or why would she ever do this for a guy like this? He was trash. And then another comment said, good D will do that to you. Huh. So it sounds like it's not just men doing it. It sounds like women have this ability too. So actually, you should be scared of yourself.
It's funny being single in your 30s. One day you're thinking about freezing your eggs, and the next day you're wondering if you should go home with the 26-year-old. What is this life?
Interesting. Couldn't have come at a more convenient time. But they continue telling us that men are the only ones making bad decisions.
I would rather eat my dinner off of a paper plate in the middle of our living room, sitting on the floor with my husband, if it means that I get to do that with him. When my husband and I got engaged, I went to a bridal show, and Bed Bath & Beyond was there. I signed up for a registry. I didn't know any better. Never been engaged before. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know how expensive this store was. My husband was working. For those of you that don't know, he is a heavy equipment operator for an excavation company, so he works a lot of hours, and there are many times where I have to do many things by myself, or I'll have to ask somebody to do things with me because he's working. So my mom went with me to Bed Bath & Beyond, and we got there, and the guy hands me the little scanner. I'm going around and I'm scanning things. We were probably in there for 45 minutes to an hour. We walk back to his office, and we sit down, and he had made a comment. He said, well, why'd you scan these plates instead of these plates? I said, well, first off, they're cheaper. And secondly, my husband and I have been together for 4 years at this point. I know that people wanted to buy us things Multiple people reach out to me and say, please scan certain things on your registry so we know what to get you. I looked at this guy and I smiled and I said, to be completely honest with you, sir, I don't really need anything in this store because I could eat dinner on paper plates with my husband for the rest of my life and I'd be perfectly satisfied. The guy looked at me and he smiled so big. I'll never forget his face. He said, young lady, you are the reason why marriages work. And I said, what do you mean? He said, this couple was in there a week prior and were in there for 4 hours and they couldn't decide on what bath towels. I don't care if my stuff's mismatched. I don't care about any of that. I genuinely just care about spending time with my husband. So at the end of the day, what's more important? What kind of plates you're eating your dinner off of or the person you're spending time with?
All of you people that have a relationship that's married, engaged, whatever, if you just got a boyfriend or girlfriend last night, you better be so grateful. You better be so grateful. Because when I tell you, the dating streets is vicious. It is a dog-eat-dog world out here. Tracy Ellis Ross, right? Actor, singer, model, all the above, daughter of the Diana Ross, just said it herself. If Tracy Ellis Ross, baddie, body, fashion, personality, everything, money, if Tracy Ellis Ross is having a difficult time dating, and I am also having a difficult time dating, just stamps the fact that right now in the world, in the culture, in society, the dating pool definitely has pee in it. It just confirmed it. Like, I don't need any more. That just gave me all the validation that I need, and I hope it gave you the validation you needed. And it makes me feel so good to be like, wow, so it's not just me and my homegirls that's having a hard time out here. Celebrities too?
But this is not new news. Vivica Fox has been having issues. Almost quite literally any celebrity with that mindset of I'm strong and independent, I don't need no man, they're going to have trouble. That's how many times do men have to tell you that? There's plenty of lawyers, high profile lawyers, plenty of doctors that are having trouble dating men because they don't know how to treat a man. They think they're above a man.
This is a chat for the ladies. I just got back from happy hour, and when I was there, this guy walked in. It's a guy that I met last weekend that got my number and texted me the next day and tried to set up a date. He's hot, very, very handsome, and took initiative and like wanted to plan a date. It was like very forward with me, which I love. And I truthfully, whatever I had going on when he texted me, I truthfully forgot. Okay. So when he walked in, I looked at my friend and I was like, shit. Well, let's see how this plays out. She was like, what are you going to do? And I was like, I don't know. Like, I'm here with my friends. Like, I'm going to enjoy happy hour. Like, whatever. And he walked back up, which I appreciate so much. Like, shoot your freaking shot. I love that. He was like, I don't care. I'm going to go try again. And he came up. He was like, remember me? And I was like, yeah, hello. And he was like, it's good to see you. What are you doing next Friday? And I was like, I sat there and I checked my schedule and I was like, I'm off at this time. And he was like, cool, so how does 7 o'clock at the local sound? Yup, yeah, you're gonna catch me there. Yeah. I didn't even hesitate because he didn't hesitate. Like, he didn't hesitate, so I didn't hesitate. I don't know how many times I need to say that over again. He didn't hesitate, so I didn't hesitate. Yep, see there. Yes. We love that. We love that.
See, it's easy enough to say, oh, well, this is how all men should do. Unfortunately, they have done that, and they've gotten called creeps. It's only when a man that you find attractive, because you said he was hot, he was extremely handsome, when he does it, then it's not a problem.
Just know that if you like my Instagram story, I'm going to assume that you want to hook up with me, okay? That's my version of flirting these days, is liking an Instagram story. And not even just flirting. Like, I, like, genuinely believe that everyone that likes my Instagram stories wants to fuck me, okay? Am I wrong? Am I valid? Because I think I'm totally valid. And I think that's exactly what that feature is meant for, is letting people know that you're interested in them.
Does anybody else think it's weird that women can expect things from men, but men can't expect anything from women? Like, I seriously want you to stop and think about one thing that it's socially acceptable for a man to expect from a woman. Like, can you think of a tangible thing where if I got on here and I was like, hey, I think in a relationship that women should blah, 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 that wouldn't be problematic or red pill? Because from what I notice, it's like, it's okay if a woman expects men to pay for dates, but that man can't expect the woman to put out. It's okay if women expect men to pay all their rent, but if he expects her to cook and clean, he's a filthy misogynist. Women can expect a man to facilitate an environment in which they can become a stay-at-home mother. However, that man cannot expect her to become a stay-at-home mother. Like, do you see what I'm getting at here? Personally, I don't think anybody should expect anything from anybody. However, the hypocrisy is crazy to me. And the lack of acknowledgement in the hypocrisy just confuses me. It's like we have certain demographics here who are listing their expectations, but not being willing to deliver anything whatsoever. And I legitimately mean not deliver anything. Like, again, don't ask them what they bring to the table. But on the other hand, I see men where they're like, okay, you know, if I'm going to pay for these things, then I'm going to need da 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 da. And they get canceled for stuff like that. Like, do you see how that doesn't make sense? Now, look, okay, you may not believe it, but I genuinely hate to say a group that I'm not a part of is wrong, because then it's like, oh, you're not empathizing, da 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 da. But like, it's objectively wrong. Like, you see what I mean? Like, the take literally being, hey, I deserve everything, but I should give nothing. Like, what are we doing here?
What's up, family? Check this video out.
You know, the main reason why I don't want to be married anymore is because the way that I've been able to make my 17-year marriage work all of these years is by compromising myself. Compromising what I think, compromising about what I value, compromise what I want, compromise the type of relationship that I want to have. Everything has been a compromise, but the compromise has been on my part, me adjusting, changing, doing things differently to please my partner and to make the family as a whole work. And I just know that it's just not the right thing to do anymore. But on the other hand, it's really scary thinking that I'm going to be 52 years old out there living by myself with my kids, trying to make it in this economy. I don't have an education. I never went to school. I didn't have a career or anything like that. There was no plan B. This was always the plan. You know, be married, stay married, raise a family, and just stay together and make it work to the end. I'm taking a huge risk, and sometimes I question whether it's the right thing to do. But I know the reason why I'm questioning is because I'm so used to compromising myself. I'm so used to putting myself last. I'm so used to just making myself disappear so I can be in these roles, wife, mother, whatever, and somehow hopefully make other people happy, and that'll be my life. But that's not the right way to live. I want to find a different way of living. And I have a lot of regret that I've waited so long and I'm doing it now at 52. I don't have youth. I don't have, all of the optimism. I don't have years and years in front of me. I don't really even have the time to kind of wait on it or waste. I mean, I don't have a ton of time. I mean, if I don't do it now, when will I ever do it? When will I ever be comfortable in my own skin? When will I ever feel proud and happy and like myself? When will I ever be in a situation like that again? Unless I go out there and try to take it for myself. It's pretty scary, but I have a feeling that it's going to be worth it. I think it's going to be worth it.
One thing that women continue to lack is accountability. There was a guy in the comments that said the crazy thing is she's still going to have to compromise to a boss at work or a government with rules to follow. It looks like she's having a problem following her husband, and that's all. And a woman started talking back and forth with him, and then he said something, and she responded by saying that may be somewhat true, but 80% of the men in the world are like this, basically saying we have to compromise our mental health, our bodies, and, just going down the line about stuff. And then he made a really good point at the end there. He said, do you realize women leave men and all of them are right? Doesn't that seem strange? When women are initiating divorce, 70% of the time, all of them are right? All of them? Really? How does that work? 70% of the time, I'm right for doing this? Really? I try to make it work. I try to do this. I try to do that. I compromised. Do you guys realize I, I want men in the comments. I want men in the chat. You ever been married or in a relationship? You walk up in the house and that house don't reflect her. What's she like? Oh, I want this picture over here. I want this. Oh, I don't like that couch. Get that couch out of here. I want a bigger bed. Guess what you're going to be doing the next day? As soon as the furniture store open, shopping, looking for some baby, we don't got this in the budget. We going to find out. What they say, if mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. Come on, man. You sitting there telling you compromise, you probably put in the schedule that everybody's following. Come on, don't do that. Oh, can we go here? Can we do that? You sitting up there, look like, from what I can see, in comfortable clothing. Your hair is done. Your eyebrows are done. Come on, man. You ain't It don't even look like you starving. And you compromising? Come on, man. Don't do that. Modern women sitting up here playing in your face, man. Listen, I'm not saying that he ain't without faults, but come on. Y'all be spinning a web of lies. Y'all be exaggerating, and you know it. Oh, I ain't gonna compromise for my partner, but you're gonna be compromising for the mama. Can you come pick me up? Oh, I can't do what I want to do because I gotta go pick up my kids. Hey, mama, can you keep my kids? Hey, mama, can you watch this over here? Can you do this? Oh, well, I'm watching. I'm sitting for my daughter. Oh, I'm watching my grandbaby. Oh, I'm doing. It's funny how they do that for their kids and the people that they want to, but all of a sudden doing it for your husband's a problem. Hey, Jane, do you think you can stay a couple more hours and work? Oh, yes, sir, boss. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Ashley, girl power. Oh, yeah. While she's sitting at the house, she done gone home and she on the lake with her family, posting pics on Instagram talking about building memories, and you sitting up there working. Oh yeah, she want to go spend time with her family. I don't have anything to do. All my kids are out the house, and I'm divorced. So she's doing what you were trying to do. She's doing she has what you gave up. That's not strange to you. That's not weird to you. But you know what? Like my dad says, if you like it, I love it.